Yo, yo, what's up, guys? Peter Voogd here, and I'm excited for this training. As always, go ahead and type in the chat where you're watching from. Go ahead and say your name and where you're watching from, and we're going to get started right away. What's up, guys? Ready to fire up this training? What's up, Angel from Florida, California in the house, Brazil, Florida, Wisco, I'm not sure where that is. Dave from Michigan, Adam from Cincinnati. What's up, guys? I'm fired up as always, and I don't take your time lightly. If you're going to be here with me, if you're going to spend time with me, I want to make sure the value is maximized. And I know some of you guys are thinking, another training, another webinar. I've been on a lot of webinars, and I will admit, and I agree, that most are BS and most really don't give you the value that you showed up for. And I've been on a lot. So I'm going to make sure this is part of the 5% of trainings that actually give you massive value and give you a roadmap, and it's going to be different. And I do want to make sure you're in the right spot. So let me kind of go through what we're going to talk about. But I want to make sure everyone's, I say what's up to everybody. Amber, what's up from Texas? Matt from California. From Florida. What's up, Teresa? What's up, Josh? What's up, Ari? From Sweden, I love it. What's up, Kathleen? What's up, Gabriel? Chris Harden, bring the fire. Always, my man. Go ahead and say where you're watching from. Utah, Iowa, UK. LA in the house, Louisiana in the house, New York in the house, Iowa in the house. I love it. I'm excited, guys. So let me go ahead and get the screen. I just want to introduce myself and show my face before I kind of dive in and get passionate and give you guys this roadmap that I created for you guys. This took me a couple years to create, but I'm excited to share it. All right, hold on one second. Oh, hey, go ahead and type in the chat to make sure you can hear me. There's about a 45-second delay. My team's going to be in the chat if you need anything, but make sure you guys type in that you can hear me and that you can see the screen so we can be good to go. I want to make sure everyone can hear and see me before I dive in. So we're going to be talking about the proven 6-step formula to build your $1 million network and leverage that network to fuel massive growth and success into 2019. Because for the real entrepreneurs and go-getters, 2019 really starts now, all right? But I want to make sure you're in the right spot. So if you're looking for a huge competitive advantage going into this next year in life and business, you're in the right spot. If you're looking to grow your network and you understand the importance of networking, you're in the right spot. If you're looking to gain more clarity on how to make money and predictable income in today's changing times and sometimes uncertain times, you're in the right spot at the right time. One of my biggest breakthroughs this past 10 years was realizing how precious and how valuable time is. It's life's most precious commodity on earth. And I assure you that if you invest this time wisely today with me, I will make sure that you have a blueprint, you have a clear direction, and you get massive value when you leave today. My number one focus is always giving you guys as much value as possible, and I want you guys to leave with clarity and certainty as well. And I realized a while back, just 1 or 2 perspective shifts or a new action plan can yield you an extra 5, 10, 20 grand, even $100,000 for the year. Just a different way of thinking or a new network can really help you drastically, all right? So I want to share with you guys very simply why this is important right now, okay? This is your life, first of all, and there's nothing more important than living well and maximizing what you do. But don't be fooled. The rules you've been taught don't apply anymore. Everything has changed, and what it took to succeed just 5 or 10 years ago doesn't work anymore. And this is the greatest time in human history to be an entrepreneur. More than 500,000 millionaires were created in the US just last year. So this is the greatest time in human history to thrive and to build a business on your terms. There's 1,700 new millionaires created every single day. More wealth is being created right now than ever before, and more money is being exchanged than ever before. And you have to realize that when the economy doesn't do well, the money doesn't disappear. It just transfers to the successful people who have these skills And this mentality I'm going to share with you today. Okay? Now, it's the greatest time in human history. You guys can all admit that, with information, with the internet, with technology. There's never been a better time to thrive. But 95% are stressed, underpaid, and overwhelmed. The rich are getting richer, and now it's time to separate yourself once and for all. And our society's struggling. People are lost. They're broke, they're confused, and they're working way too hard just to make a living. And this has been called the age of dramatic distraction, with entitlement mindsets, evolving technologies. But if you understand these things I'm going to talk about, you will have a competitive advantage. And the opportunity cost is this: you're leaving a lot of money on the table by not knowing some of these simple yet powerful facts. And like I said earlier, the game has changed. What worked 10 or 15 years ago simply doesn't work anymore. And I know people personally that I've connected with. I speak quite a bit, and I've mentored people that are 15, 16, 17 years old, and they're making 6 figures. Some are making over 7 figures a year. And then we have broke 40-year-olds. How does that happen? Well, one's willing to adapt and adjust and become more valuable, and one's stubborn, and one's a know-it-all that thinks they don't need to change. And that's the reality. So I want you guys to be part of that 5 or 10% that actually takes advantage of all the opportunity in this new economy. All right? Huge, huge key. So I'm excited about this training. I've been fired up about this for the last couple months. So real quick before we dive in, house rules. This is not a get rich quick. There's not a shred of get rich quick in this training. And if you're looking to get wealthy without putting in real work or adding real value, this isn't it. Sorry. Feel free to go about your business or change your expectations, right? One of the two. This is not do nothing and get paid, right? Not going to teach you how to do nothing and get paid. I've never met anybody who was able to do that except lottery winners. And if you have the lottery winner mentality, this is not for you. There's also no fake experts. This is real work, real people, and real results. And of course, my results aren't typical. I only am going to teach things that I've used, that I've done, that actually have been proven, that have gotten me results as well. And you guys know, most people who buy any make money or get rich quick training will never really make money. This isn't that. Okay, if I haven't scared you away yet, and if you're looking for a blueprint to gain more clarity, if you're looking to elevate your network and create more predictable income, then this training is definitely for you. And one of the biggest mistakes that I've made, that I've seen entrepreneurs make, is they have an incongruent circle of influence. They're not placing enough emphasis on networking. There's too many random acts of action, not enough intentional strategy when it comes to network. And there's a huge shift in our society right now. So here's my promise to you, by the way. Now, there's been such a huge shift in our society that for the first time ever, it's not really about age, it's not really about experience, and it's not really about location or where you're from. It's all about networking and relationships. Okay? So my promise to you is, by the end of this training, you'll have a clear roadmap. You'll have a certain roadmap on how to reach the 5%. And some of you guys might get a reality check. Now, I looked at all your emails. I asked thousands and thousands of you guys what you're looking to gain from this training and what you do and what you're trying to accomplish. And some of you guys are already extremely successful. I love that you're trying to level up even more. But I took everything into consideration of what you guys shared with me, and I put it into this training as well. And I'll tell you, one of my pet peeves in trainings is to not get you real results, not get you real value. So we'll make sure that you get value that you can use right away. Second is, you'll know how to reach your goals on your terms with certainty. And what I've done is I've taken 180 minutes of content. I've taken 3 hours of content and went through and took out anything that wasn't relevant, that didn't give you real results, and kind of focused on the 80-20 rule. So I'm only going to share with you 20% of the information that yields the highest results because I value your time. I'm going to give you kind of an implementation plan and then give you some real world case studies as well. Now, to those of you guys that are the serious ones, if you stay till the end, I have some cool stuff I'm going to share, something I've never shared before, but also you're going to get my Millionaire Weekly Master Plan on exactly how I maximize and plan my weeks, how I leverage technology, how I think about time management. You're going to get my weekly master plan with all of these questions as well if you stay till the end. Okay? So I do want to share with you that it's not your fault. There's a lot of people that take responsibility, and that's great. But from the things we're taught in school to propaganda to things that were shown on TV to people promoting false things, it's not always your fault. Okay? As far as where you're at right now. You want to take responsibility, but realize that a lot of it's not your fault. Everything we've been taught has been backwards. It's not about working harder or smarter. It's about working right. It's not about all this experience. People say, I have 20 years of experience. I should be thriving. No, you don't. You have 1 year of experience repeated 20 times. If you're not educating yourself and innovating and growing, you don't have 20 years. You have 1 year repeated a bunch of times. So realize it's not your fault if you're struggling, but it is if you learn the right information and still struggle. Okay, that's a huge, huge key. So here's what I want to figure out. What brought you here? I want you to type in the chat box, what brought you here? Like, why are you here? What are you looking to learn? Or what are you excited about? Because I saw a lot of emails and I tried to respond to everybody. I mean, it's hard to respond to a couple hundred people within the last week and a half, but I tried and I think I got to most of you guys. But what brought you here? What are you looking to accomplish? We have people that own gyms. We had people that, let me get out some of my notes of some of the things you guys do. We have people that sell big ticket items. We have speakers. We have people that own mom and pop shops. We have real estate agents. We have people in direct sales. We had some teachers. So there's a lot of you guys wanting to gain value. But what are some things that you're excited about and what brought you here? Remember, there's like a 10, 15 to 35, 40-second delay, my team says. Maximize my digital marketing agency. Love it. So sick to get rich quick schemes. 100% I am too. Trust me. Ready to play big. Listen to my guru from Washington, D.C. Love it. Building divorce coaching practice after 30 years as a divorce lawyer. Clues and knowledge. Motivation and that roadmap to complete my paralegal course. Meaningful work in a way out of the rat race. Making a lasting impact in the world. Trying to figure out if this is the right fit for me. Love it. Need to step my game up. So I'm talking to the right group. That's what I wanted to get across. I'm talking to the right group. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here right now with me, learning and growing. That's why you're going to have a competitive advantage. So what I do want to share is, who am I? Now, not to brag, but I just see so many gurus that just teach things that haven't gotten results. So I want to share some of the results, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that I've been in the trenches. I've been dead broke and I've gotten results and I know what it's like to really be in business full time. And I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars the last 12 years trying to figure this out, making mistakes, growing, mentorship, seminars, right business partners, wrong business partners, doing all kinds of stuff. And I want you guys to cut your learning curve in half. So I'm also a 2-time best-selling author. 6 months to 6 figures has sold close to 400,000 copies now, which is crazy. I've created 6 figures or more income-wise in 8 different industries. And I'll obviously share some of those today. I've also trained over 7,500 entrepreneurs personally. There's the book. It's been on the front page of Audible with Tony Robbins and Dale Carnegie for quite some time, the last like 2 years. It's on and off the homepage as a bestseller. This is me speaking in Dubai last year. I frequently speak all over the world. Been in Forbes, Entrepreneur, Time, Huffington Post, blah, blah, blah. Don't really care about that, but I want to give you some credibility because there's so much BS out there. I was rated one of the top 6 millennial mentors to follow in 2016, which is great. Forbes, top 12 motivational men to follow on Instagram. This is a Forbes article that came out in 2015 as well. Been in Forbes a couple times. International speaker. There's me at Success live event, which is pretty cool. That was an awesome event. This is Grant Cardone interviewing me, Gerard Adams interviewing me as well. And I've spoken with all kinds of speakers. Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank, Gary Vaynerchuk, Ty Lopez, Adam Braun, Scooter Braun, Gary Vaynerchuk, Lewis Howes, Les Brown, Brendan Burchard, Eric Thomas, Mel Robbins, And it's crazy that my knowledge, wisdom, and my experience can bring me to all over the world. Like I'm leaving for Greece next week, speaking at a TED event. I'm in Toronto, Orlando, New York City. I've spoken at Thrive, one of the biggest events, speaking in Cancun, Mexico next month. But before all this, I did around six figures in eBay business while in high school and a little bit of college. Made six figures in sales by age 23 and did close to 10 million in direct sales by 27. I had 15 employees, over 150 sales reps working for me, at least a 3,000 square foot office, and I know how to build real business from the trenches. So that's why I share that. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about anything else as far as what I've done, but I just want you to know that I've been where you are as well. And this is me in Entrepreneur Magazine promoting our Game Changers Academy. Now, the reason why I share with this is because I've had a lot of failures. Okay, my first failure, and I'm not going to talk too much about my failures, but I'll tell you, people see the success now and I think it was easy. I've been through a lot of failure, and for me, I thought motivation and ambition were enough. Once after I already made six figures, I went broke again. I made a couple bad investments, business decisions, and I got into sales with no real strategy or mentor. I got into entrepreneurship and I thought hard work would be enough. So I'd work 40 hours a week. I wouldn't see the results. So I would ask people around me, I would ask society, what's going on? I'm working 40, 50 hours. I'm not getting results. And if you ask society, what do they say? They say, oh, just work harder. And I would work more. I worked 50 hours, then 60. I eventually worked 80 hours a week and things weren't changing. I spent 7 months doing this, pissed away all my savings. I was in a 1-bedroom apartment in the worst area of Tacoma, Washington, if you've been there, and was stressed out. So someone finally told me, they said, Peter, you got to invest in yourself. And for me, I was motivated. I want you guys to understand, it wasn't that I wasn't motivated. I was the most motivated person I knew, but I was so broke I couldn't afford the Wendy's drive-thru. I don't eat fast food anymore, but I used to go to the drive-thru and I couldn't even afford that at some point. I get chills thinking about that right now because that was a tough part of my life. And someone told me you have to invest in yourself. And I'm like, I don't have any money. They said study. So I would study everything. I would be online late night. I studied everything I could. And what happened is I got overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you seek distraction. So when I was broke, I was now overwhelmed and frustrated. Felt like I had no way out. And it wasn't that I wasn't motivated. I was working. I just wasn't getting results. I had no clue what direction to take. I'm from a small town of 7,000 people. And I had previously always kind of blamed my past and where I was from and my age. And when I got into this new company, I was blaming the company and the economy. But once I took 100% responsibility, the business changed. Someone told me, Peter, your business is a reflection of you. And I realized, wow, I'm not taking responsibility for my business. So I had two options. I literally was at wit's end. I was dead broke, pissed off, and frustrated. And this is my options, literally. Abandon entrepreneurship, which is my dreams, and living a life on my terms, and try something else, or settle for a 9-to-5, which I really didn't want to do, or figure it out. That's literally the only options I had. And when I was dead broke, I didn't have a network, and everybody around me was broke. And they said, Peter, it's okay to be broke, you're young. But the reality is, you have to realize your circle of influence will make or break you. And I knew I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling. So I had to figure it out. I had no other option because I did not want to take the normal job route because I couldn't stand other people telling me what to do. Now, I will tell you, being up front, I did take a normal job. I did settle. And it was the worst 2.5 months of my life because I had to leave when they told me to leave. And I remember a story that I'll share. And sometimes you have to think about these things that really frustrate you, or think about what pissed you off in the past about having a normal job, or listen to people and pay attention to how people talk about their jobs. My mom's 25th wedding anniversary, she wanted her best friend, one of her best friends, to be there. She gave him over a year in advance. She wrote handwritten letters to everybody, and one person couldn't make it, one of her closest friends she grew up with. And I'm going to kind of simplify the story, but one of the things she told my mom that I'll never forget is, oh, I'm so sorry I can't make it. And you guys can probably guess why she couldn't make it. Didn't have the money, and she couldn't get time off work. So when I was about to quit entrepreneurship, I thought about that and I told myself, I'm never going to be 40, 50, 60 and not be able to afford to go somewhere or have someone else tell me when I can leave. So that always stuck with me. So sometimes you have to figure out that ammo of what frustrates you to push past those challenges, right? So first thing I did, I made the definite decision I was going to make this thing work. I made the definite decision I was going to make this thing work. That was my number one thing I did, is I just had to say, you know what, no matter what, I'm making this work. There's no other option. If you have 1% doubt, you're out. So if someone's sitting there and they're like, well, I'm going to make this work 98%, but there's still 2% chance I might settle and not do what I want to do. You're going to take the 2% every time, right? And this $1 million decision I made helped me go from broke to six figures, 6 to 7 within 3.5 years, right? So my challenge to you is make the decision that you're going to level up these next 6 months. You're going to have the best 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, next year that you ever have had. You want to capitalize on all this opportunity that's coming to you. And once you get these action steps and you understand these things that I've done that took me a long time to figure out, and you realize that it is a couple small, simple things that can create huge results, you'll have a sense of relief come over you, right? But I challenge you. Make the decision that you're going to level up, okay? So I'm getting fired up. Why I failed. I tried to do everything myself. Now, I didn't know this in the moment. But this took me a couple of years later. I really thought about, in my head, why was I failing? I didn't trust anybody, and I was trying to do everything on my own. It's called Superman syndrome. I had Superman syndrome. I thought that I had to do it all on my own. I was doing everything. I was like creating my website. I was filming. I was doing editing. I was reaching out to people. I was doing business operations, and I was trying to do sales. I was doing everything. When you start doing things that you love and you add things that you don't like or you're not good at, you start to resent the things you love and you get burnt out. But why I succeeded when I thought about it was I built $1 million network. So why I failed, I did it all myself. I tried to. Why I succeeded, I built $1 million network. And here's what I've learned, okay? Your circle of influence is the single most important thing that you can focus on to really grow your business, your income, your consistency, your happiness, your certainty, and your fulfillment. There's nothing that's more important than your circle of influence. So let's dive in. I'm fired up. How to create your $1 million network starting right now. There's 3 pieces to $1 million network. There's 3 pieces to $1 million network. Number 1 is support. Okay, number 1 is support. Now, this is family and friends. This is day-to-day and those you're around the most. People like around you that you see all the time. Okay, and by the way, you have to understand that this is the most important aspect of not just life, but business. And there was a sales study a couple of years ago. It was 1,000 of the top sales personnel in the world. And what made the 5% of them be the best? And it was 2 things: their relationship skills and social capital, who they knew. So it's very clear the top 1% have the highest social capital. Now, we realized digging deeper, a lot of them didn't have that to begin with. They crafted that. So your circle of influence will make or break you. And I know you've heard this, right? But are you implementing it at the highest level? The moment you shift your circle of influence, your results, your standards, and your income follows. How many millionaires are you associating with? One of the quotes that changed the game for me was, if you want to be a millionaire, talk to billionaires. You'll get there quicker. That doesn't literally mean talk to billionaires, but talk to people playing the game at a higher level. So I needed to shift my circle of influence. Okay, so that night when I heard that quote and I realized that my circle of influence was holding me back, I realized nobody I was communicating with was succeeding at the highest level. So my frustration and disappointment and discouragement turned into motivation and excitement. I realized that I just needed to shift my circle of influence, and it started with my support. Support is people around you, family, friends, day to day, people you're around the most. So the first step is evaluate your circle of influence. Okay? Who are the people you're around the most? How are they affecting your thinking, your standards, your results, your action. Step 2, like evaluate, start thinking about who you're around the most. If you're around 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. There's no other option. It's inevitable. If you're around 5 intelligent people, you'll be the 6th. If you're around 5 passionate, loving, super sharp people, you're going to be the 6th. If you're around 5 confident people, you'll be the 6th. What if you're around 5 idiots? You tell me. 5 alcoholics. Who do alcoholics hang out with? Alcoholics. Okay, so I had to create my make it or break it list. So this is the first step, the tactical step that I did when I was struggling. So I made a list. I said, okay, who are my 5 maintenance friends? People that kind of hold me back or make me feel okay with mediocrity and make me feel okay for settling. Maybe it's people I felt bad not hanging out with because I've known them a long time. Maybe it's people I knew in high school or middle school. Just maintenance friends. People that you kind of see sometimes that you feel bad if you don't hang out with them. And then I made a list of my growth friends. Growth friends, people that challenged me, that made me think bigger, that held me to a higher standard, that made me feel exceptional, that I could draw inspiration from, that maybe already had the results I want. Now, I realized in the moment I didn't have any growth friends. So you don't have to know them. It's people you want to know or people you study online. Just make a list of people that you want to connect with. Growth friends. All right? Simply, this is all you do. You lower the time you spend with your maintenance friends and increase the time you spend with your growth friends. Sounds so simple, but every multimillionaire I know, and I'll talk about how I crafted that network, has done something similar to this. Okay? The most important decision you'll ever make is who you surround yourself with. And the tough decision is who to cut out and who to lower your time, who to lower the time with that you spend currently time with, right? That's the tough decision. Life is too short to hang out with toxic people who don't make you feel exceptional. That's why networking is so crucial, right? The tough decision is who to cut out, because as your vision gets bigger, and I'm guessing because you're on this training, because I've checked out your emails, you're someone that has a bigger vision and it's hard to relate to a lot of people. As your vision gets bigger, your circle gets smaller. So who are you going to cut out? That's the challenging thing. Who are you going to cut out that might be a little bit frustrating and discouraging for you at first, but realize there's nothing that will give you more peace of mind and more exhilaration and passion and energy than cutting out people who always complain, who are cynical, who always have an answer for everything, who validate, who don't push for new limits and don't have new ambitions. There's nothing more liberating than getting rid of these people. And I had to tell some of my friends, look, I want you to come with me. I want you to like build a life that you're proud of and make money and travel. But I can't keep being with you if you keep having the same excuses and you keep settling. Now, it's not that you're too cool. You just have to take yourself serious and protect your inner circle. Okay? So the next part of the network is peers. Now, this is your business network. Those you're around when you're working and grinding, right? Do you have A players you can bounce ideas off of? The closest 5 that you connect with should already have the lifestyle that you're striving for. So 1 is support, family, friends, day to day. 2 is peer, network, like who you're around at work. Maybe your boss, or maybe if you work at a shared workspace, maybe you work from home and you don't have a lot of people. That's fine, but this is important to understand. Peers is a second step. So the action step for here is find a mastermind network. Pay if you have to. Get around heavy hitters. One of the biggest breakthroughs I've had the last couple of years is there's an answer for everything. And if you try to figure it out, you're going to stress yourself out and bang your head against the wall. You don't have to figure it out. The people around you should figure it out. That's the game changer, right? And that's what a circle of influence is for, is to get around other people who can help you cut your learning curve in half, right? And what I use the mastermind network for is bounce ideas off people that are skilled, that actually have experience, get valuable feedback, share strategies, tips, and tricks, get accountability and support as well. So now that you've kind of made that make it or break it list and you're realizing who you're around, I want you to understand that everybody with $1 million network started at zero. Now, I'm not talking about the 2 to 5% that were born into royalty, or someone that like had $1 million network growing up and their parents are multi-million. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the 95% of people that are self-made. Okay. So everyone that has a network now once didn't. Everyone that has money now once didn't. So you have to understand that. Okay. So for me, I was lucky enough to meet people. I knew nobody when I was stressed out and broke. I couldn't reach out. I had no leverage. I had nothing to share. I knew nobody. Now I've been able to connect with Gary Vaynerchuk and Ty Lopez, Randall Pitch, CEO of LiveFit, Lewis Howes. I've met Tony Robbins, Ryan Blair, Gerard Adams. That's me and Grant Cardone in Malibu. I'm really good friends with Eric Thomas, and been connecting with a lot of cool people. Kenny the Jet Smith, me and Tony Horton have done some stuff together. He's the founder of P90X. So I didn't have anyone I knew. I was from a small town of 7,000 people. How was I able to connect with these people? Well, this is the start of it, okay? Support, peers, and mentor. The next step is mentor. So choose a mentor. Be very selective and realize you're probably already following or know that mentor. You just have to be very conscious of this. You have to be very conscious of this. And I'll share the power of a mentor in a second in a story, but you got to choose a mentor. My first mentor was Isaac Tolpin in my company, who really helped me change the game. And he was at 6 figures and he helped me get the 6 figures. Now, I then wanted to get eventually to 7 figures. So I had another mentor named Jordan Weirs, who made his first million at 21, who got me to 7 figures. And one of the biggest things he taught me, he says, Peter, a smart person learns from their mistakes, as all successful people do. But those wanting world-class results learn from other people's mistakes so they can shorten their learning curve and not waste as much time making the same ones. I'll never forget that. I was just talking about this with a business group that was in LA a couple of days ago, and I was just talking about how much of an impact he made on my life. The power of a mentor does a couple things. Education and guidance, first of all, the right education and guidance. School of Hard Knocks. I went to business school at University of Oregon, which taught me absolutely nothing about business because the professors never actually ran businesses, sadly. They call you out when necessary. They have you thinking way bigger, and they help you with the big strategic business decisions. Remember what I said earlier? The biggest problem is most people take random acts of action and they're not thinking things through. So they don't really know if what they're doing now is going to keep them fascinated and engaged the next 2, 3, 5 years. So what happens is they waste this time when they change industries because they didn't think things through. Mentors can help you with that, right? So for me, finally, when I started making money, and here's the reality, you're eventually going to make money if you actually listen to these things. It'll eventually happen. Shifting your circle of influence is bulletproof, right? There's 100% chance you'll make money if you pay attention and actually take action on these things. And networking is the way to do it. So finally, after talking to Jordan Weirs, I started making money. Fast forward about a year, and I had 102, and this was a breakthrough, and I want to share the importance. It's not about how much was saved, it's about shift in perspective. So I hired Jordan to challenge me to get me to that next level. So there was a point where I finally was making money, and I was saving and investing, and I had over $100,000 saved. Okay, I'm 24 years old, and I almost felt invincible, and I realized that I don't have to work as much. I'm ahead of most people in society. I tell Jordan, I have 100-something grand saved. I mean, this is amazing. And I was getting a little, I don't want to say egotistical, but I was like letting off the gas pedal. And he goes, Peter, that's not much money. I made $1 million by 21. If you're getting excited about that, I don't know if we should be working together. And I'll never forget that. I don't think I'd be where I am today or as hungry as I am today if I didn't have his perspective to kind of check me in place. Now, I'm not saying 100K saved is amazing, right? But that's irrelevant. The point is, he helped me raise my standards of what was acceptable. I was comparing myself to society, which is what you should never do. Okay, which is what you should never do. And what's crazy about having a mentor is it helps you with every other area, like big ticket sales, transitioning to entrepreneurship, content and social media, how to approach influencers, sales. It helps you with everything, right? So here's another step. Start taking less opinions and only listen to the select few people who have similar values that you do. Unfollow a lot of people. Stop following people unless they have similar values that you do. Okay, this is a huge key. So for example, once you kind of define what's most important to you and you say, okay, this is the business I want, this is why, this is my values, I value flexibility, I value freedom, I value money and growth, so this is the industry I want to dominate. Okay, don't base your goals off your past or insecurities, base it off what you want and what's possible, that's it. So start thinking about what you want. Now, here's an example of this. For me, I value autonomy and flexibility more than almost anything, even more than money. So when I'm 40, 50, 60 years old, I don't want to work 100 hours a week. I want to have a lifestyle I'm proud of, and I want to take my kids to basketball practice, right? So there's a lot of gurus and entrepreneurs online that promote hustle, 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 grind, hustle, which is a facade. That's great. But a couple of them are very big. I'm not going to say names, and I'm friends with some of these people, and I've told them this, so this is not something I'm kind of like talking behind their back, but there's people that work 100 hours a week. They have an office, they have 100, 500 employees, and they never, ever are with their family or their kids, and they're 40, 50, 60 years old. So why would I follow them if that's not the lifestyle I want? That's how you start getting stressed and live incongruently. So when I'm 40 and 50, I don't want to work in an office 100 hours a week. I want to travel the world and do things on my terms. Now, that might not be you, but the point is follow people who have similar values that you do, and that's it. There's only a certain amount of information you can take and only a certain amount of brain space. If you overload it with information, especially if it's not relevant, you're overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you subconsciously will seek distraction and settle. And this is about being an elite performer. Okay, I'm going to tie this together with six key strategies, simplified, but I want you to understand that you got to take few opinions and you got to really, really understand you need one or maybe two mentors. That's it. Now, when you do this, when you finally figure out where you want to go and you figure out who you are and what your values are, then it's all about mastery versus overload. Okay, this was one of my biggest breakthroughs, is realizing that it's not about the information, it's about the outcomes and results. And there's this grass is greener mentality in personal growth right now, where people are like, I got to read another book, I got to watch another video, I got to go to another seminar. And instead of executing what they've learned, they trick themselves into thinking they need more information when all they need to do is execute the things that are most relevant to their business. So I'm going to give you my mastery versus overload checklist that I've never shared, not even in my books. I haven't shared this. This is what I do when I take on more information. Once I've defined what's most important to me and I get crystal clear on what I want, this is what I go through. One, is this information congruent to the skill I want to master and to my 6-month vision? Number one. Number two, is this information proven and taught by somebody who has the results I want? Anybody could write a book these days. That's why you got to be careful on who you really take information from. Okay. Next, this is a big one. Have I taken action on the previous information I've learned? Am I certain this is the best information and training on the subject? Time is very valuable. So if you're spending it on this training, but there's better training and more tactical training, why are you studying that? Right? This is a huge, huge key. So this is the checklist that you want to go through from here on out. We focus a lot on this in our Game Changers Academy too. Here's the Game Changers truth number 2. Your circle of influence impacts all other areas of your life. So a lot of the issues you guys were having that you talked about in the email with me, this solves it. This solves it. Okay. So your circle of influence impacts your confidence, your health, your energy, your attitude, and your income. And if we simplify all, it's kind of funny actually, but if we simplified all of your goals and we took hundreds of the emails that we got and simplified it, here's what we realized if we kind of put them into two categories. You guys are funny. This is the top two goals: make more money in less time. That's you guys. And that's fine. That's how it should be, because it's not about working harder or smarter. It's about working right based on what you want to accomplish. And there's 4,000 ways to get to an end result, but there's one optimal way. And that's what this is for. So once you kind of shift your circle of influence, you get that list, you start like only following people who have similar visions that you do. Now there's a strategy that I executed to earn more income in less time in a way that's congruent to my values, in a way that can allow you to have flexibility and freedom and give you certainty. And this is work not just for me. Once I executed this and saw that it helped me get to six figures in different industries, I started teaching it to other people. Companies have paid me $15,000 to $20,000 to teach these things to their teams. Okay? And these are things that are proven. These aren't things that I learned in a book that I hope work. These are proven. Remember, my number one failure was I had Superman syndrome. I tried to do it all myself. And I've done it in a couple industries that I've tried to get in and start. And I don't do it anymore because I've matured up and I've grown up and I realize how detrimental that can be. But I try to do this myself. By the way, if you don't have money, there's a lot of other ways to still delegate, to contract out, to go overseas, so you don't have to do everything yourself. Give them a stake in the company, share your vision. There's a lot of ways. That was my number one failure. And the cost, when I looked at it, took me a lot more time. There was more stress and got worse results. And what's even worse about that is you get burnt out over the things you used to love doing as well. And what I've been obsessed with before I dive into this 6X strategy, what I've been obsessed with is building a life on my terms. It almost gets emotional looking at these because I remember working 80 hours a week, having no freedom. Now I can travel the world, do anything I want. That's my wife, Kayla. Some of you guys may know her. She's all over my social media. But this is the ultimate goal, is to do what you want on your terms and do this while you're making predictable income. Okay? The worst thing you can do is travel, spend all your money, and be pissed off that you have to go back home. I hate being on vacation and people saying, oh, I don't want to go back to work on Monday. You want to make your life a lifestyle you're proud of and work on things that matter. So here's the reality. If you built a $100 million business, but you don't have a lifestyle you're proud of, you did it all wrong. And what happens is the more time that goes by where you don't fix that, the more regret seeps in. So let's dive into this strategy, because I'm very serious about building a business on your terms. And once again, it's never been easier if you have the right strategies. So 6X strategy. Number one, you have to shift from complexity to simplicity. You have to get rid of all the noise in your head. Most things don't matter. So literally, yes, you want to level up who you're around, which is next. But when you start being more purposeful and more intentional, here's what you have to understand. You want to create your ideal outcome based on what's possible and based on your potential, not your past or insecurities. So my question to you is, if me and you were hanging out in the next 6 months, what would have had to happen for you to be completely satisfied and excited about your results thus far? If I ask 100 people what they want to accomplish in 6 months, 95 out of 100 are too vague. Oh, I want to do well. I want to make more money. I want to do this in sales. No, I mean, where do you want to be at? How involved are you in the business? What feelings are you experiencing? How much money do you have saved? Right? How much money are you making? What does your team look like? What's your bankroll? Think about that. This comes first. Clarity is the ultimate power. So sift through all the BS. What are your top things you want to accomplish? Next is why you want to accomplish them. Figure out your strongest reasons of why. Reasons come first, results come second. And then figure out the number one skill you want to master that will get you to those goals in 6 months. And then it leads me to number two. Now create your $1 million network so they can help you get there. Because when you set a goal, you won't know how to get there. And if you do, the goal's not big enough. You want to set goals that you've never gone to. When I set a goal to be a millionaire, to get the six figures, I never have got the 6 figures. I didn't know how. But when I connected with people that were making $500,000, it was inevitable. When I was making 6 figures, I was like, I don't know how to get to $1 million. I didn't even believe I could, but I had the network. Eventually, that kind of pulled me through and gave me a roadmap. So $1 million network, we've already talked about this, right? This is obviously a huge, huge key. But just making sure that you craft that network starting now. Okay? Next, optimize your positioning. Okay? Now, what that means is social proof, testimonials, credibility, like your messaging about your business. So when you're starting a business, what makes it unique? And if someone says, here's one of the best questions you can ever ask yourself, or have someone else ask you, why should I join your business? Or why should I watch your content? Why should I connect with you? Why should I buy your product and service? Why should I buy this high ticket item when I could buy it from 80 other people? Or there's 700 other businesses that do exactly what you do. Why should I buy from you? Okay, why should I watch your YouTube videos when there's 3,000 other YouTube influencers? Well, the people that know this and can say blank, blank, blank and give reasons of exactly why they're positioned, because when you're positioned as the go-to person in your industry, people come to you versus you chasing people. And I'll kind of dive into this in a second, but what's going to make you different? Make your business about something and make sure it's scalable so you can create that lifestyle. So what's your unique edge or your advantage? Okay, get crystal clear on what you want, create your $1 million network, figure out what's going to make that business different, and then take control of your schedule, seizing each day and maximizing your 24 hours, or leveraging technology and building a team. So you see, your perspective on time is huge. Successful people buy time, and they always make sure they move with purpose and intention. If you're trading time for money, you're going to work the rest of your life. So most trade time for money, and sadly, some trade time for nothing because they're always escaping reality. But when you take control of your schedule and realize the importance of sacrificing now and creating now to do things that eventually make you money, then you can take off whenever you want. I was willing to work 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week and study and master my craft to eventually work 10 hours a week. Okay, that's a huge, huge key. So take control of your schedule. Now, the amount of issues people have in their life and business is usually in direct correlation to the lack of systems or rituals they have in place. So first thing is, anything that others can do 80% as good as you, start delegating. You got to focus on the right activities that yield the results. If you don't want to do something, if you can't do something, or if you shouldn't do something, you should be delegating that to someone who loves taking over your weaknesses. So seize each day. There's 3 questions I ask myself every morning, and part of seizing your day and taking control of your schedule is saying no a lot to things that aren't aligned with your vision, but also having a great morning routine. Now, it doesn't matter what time you wake up. I'm so sick of these people saying you got to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. I know a lot of creatives that work really well at night. So let me talk about this real quick, because I'm just sick of people promoting things because they hear it and they don't actually live by it, or they don't understand psychology. You need to figure out when you focus and when you work the best, and place your toughest activities or your money-making activities at that time. So it doesn't mean you got to wake up at 5 a.m. I have a lot of creatives on my team and people I know that work their best from like 9, 10, 11 at night to 2, 3 in the morning. I'm dead at like 11. I'm going to bed, right? And some people love working early morning, but if you're not a morning person, place your best tasks to when you have the most willpower. All right. So here's 3 questions I ask myself in the morning. What am I excited about? What am I grateful for today? And what am I committed to making happen no matter what? That's it. And just learn to say no. Next thing. So once you take control of your schedule, you have to protect your mindset and create a bulletproof confidence. Mastering your mindset is not easy. It's like watching grass grow. It's over time. And clarity is great and it helps it. But if you don't have the confidence, you're not going to accomplish anything. So where does confidence come from? It comes from self-esteem, and that comes from doing things you know you should do. And until you really value yourself and your worth, you won't value your time. And until you value your time, you won't do anything with it. So if you don't protect your time, no one else will, right? And here's where confidence comes from: choosing growth in the moment. Here's an example. Most people make the easy decision in the moment, and their life is a lot harder. So people that make easy decisions all in their 20s, their 30s suck. Okay, that's just life. So you got to make the tough decision because that gives you confidence. In the moment, should I wake up or sleep in? Should I eat the salad or should I eat the cheeseburger? Should I go out on the weekends and party and drink, or should I stay home and study my goals and network and connect? Should I watch TV or should I listen to something that sparks my mind, right? Those two things really sharpen your confidence. So choose growth in the moment. But the biggest thing that gives you confidence is your network and results you get, period. When you get results, you feel unstoppable. When you have a great network, you feel unstoppable because every question you have is answered. And lastly, focus on the right activities. Once again, it's not about harder or smart, it's about right. What activities can yield the biggest results? So track everything you do for the week and figure out the highest leverage activities and double down on those and get rid of things that waste your time. There's high value activities, low value activities, and no value activities. And you can predict someone's future. You can predict someone's success by what they do on a daily basis. So just focus on those right activities, right? That yield the biggest results. That's a huge, huge key. And that's the key to productivity. Let me talk about some of these activities, okay? They're called profit producing activities: positioning, networking, marketing, sales. Now, do you have to master these? No. This is where you start figuring out who is going to do these things and what's most relevant to master first based on where you're at in your business. Got it? Super simple. Let me give you kind of a case study to share this with as well, okay? This is Josh Ryan, who's from UK, and New Zealand, sorry, from New Zealand. 17 years old, he's 18 now, but he was 17 years old, high school student from New Zealand, no network, lack of direction. He was still making $1,700 a month, so it's not horrible, but obviously with all the money being transferred and made, there's potential for a lot more. It doesn't matter what your past is. He literally took the 6X. You guys can reach out to him. He took the 6X strategy. He changed his circle of influence. He learned from me and some other mentors. He improved his positioning. He created certainty and confidence by his actions. He focused on the right activities, and he went from 1,700 to 10,300 in under 90 days. He was making more than his teachers. He said it was tough. He just graduated last year, but he said it was tough to pay attention in class, right? If you're making $100-something thousand. This is that he's now making 14 or 15, but this is just a simple example of what happens when you actually execute and realize time is never the problem. It's lack of focus, wrong priorities, and no network. That's the problem. So let's recap real quick. Hope you guys are getting some value. I'm excited to do some Q&A as well. We're going to do some questions and answers. Any questions you have, you can ask me afterwards, but I got some exciting things to cover. Lesson 1, your circle of influence is the #1 indicator of your success, period. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Create your $1 million network with all 3 pieces, not just 1 or 2, all 3. Support, peers, mentors. Doesn't matter what age or where you live. That's an old myth that needs to be busted. I know, like I said, I know 17, 18, and 19-year-olds from small towns with no entrepreneur background, with no schooling except high school, no experience, and they're making $500,000 plus per year. I'm sure some of you guys know people like that too. What is the difference, right? Scale your income and earn more in less time by working right. By working right. A few strategic activities go a long way. And the result of applying these things, You get more clarity, more confidence, and more direction, faster business growth than ever, because obviously it's about results, but also it's about freedom and more income in less time and a lot more predictable income. A lot more predictable income, which is what you want, is predictable income, right? So let me ask you a question. I'm assuming you want to grow, obviously, with speed and consistency, right? But I want to help you kind of create that freedom and certainty. The biggest key to consistent income and massive energy and real success in this new economy is being around the right people and having accountability, but having a proven roadmap to follow. So realize that an average person in any country can find their way to every destination with a roadmap. But a genius without a roadmap will get lost in any country. So that's why the roadmap is the key. And not having that Superman syndrome. And in my opinion, you got to make the immediate decision to do everything you can to create your ideal lifestyle. And I want to help you cut your learning curve in half and create a life and business on your terms. And I was trying to think about this, but I'm not sure why you showed up here today. You're sitting by your computer, you're watching this, you're probably excited to take action. At least I'm hoping you are. Maybe it's because you're sick of treading water in your business and you feel like your business is running you versus you running your business. Maybe you're frustrated that your business or your blog or your videos or your podcast isn't making any money and you're seeing a lot of people make money, or you're wondering how to create more predictable, consistent income, or you've been stuck at the same income the past couple of years and you've kind of had enough, or you're making money, but you're sick of trading time for money and you want some leverage finally. Or maybe you're bored, I don't know. Or for me, I didn't feel like my intelligence and ambition was matching my bank account. Either way, I want to help you claim your freedom back with absolute certainty and help you cut your learning curve in half. But let's talk about you. So you're online, you're watching this webinar, you know how important a good network and a circle of influence is to your life and business. Now, would you agree it can dramatically increase your chances of not just getting the 6 figures, but past the 7-figure mark? Not just income and influence, but the consistency and predictability of which you receive it, right? But do you want to accomplish these things fast or slow? I love the Tesla Model S. I don't know what the car is on the right, but this is most people. Please take this serious because most people act one way, but talk another way. Everybody says they want fast. They want to grow quickly. They really want to scale. They want to reach more people. They want certainty, but their actions show otherwise. Okay? I want to help you implement all these actions consistently so you can create your dream network, gain certainty and clarity and confidence, and start seeing real results. That's the ballgame. And it's not just results for the money, it's results so you can make money predictably, so you have peace of mind and certainty, and you can do what you want on your terms, which is all I really wanted. Okay, so within the past couple months, so many people have been asking about our exclusive Game Changers Academy. It's an invite-only community, but I wanted to open up a level to you. So I wanted to share and introduce you to the Game Changers Academy, which I've been extremely excited about sharing. I know you guys have been asking about the elite mastermind program and community for ambitious entrepreneurs. And I want to share with you kind of the exact system I used and help you execute the 6X system. This helped me go from dead broke to 6 figures, from 6 to 7 figures, creating close to 10 million in sales while getting in the best shape of my life, releasing 2 best-selling books, having a top iTunes podcast and TV show, but also doubling my physical energy. And I realized that the system I created would not just work for me, but for anyone who used it. And my number one frustration coming up in entrepreneurship, after spending over $100,000 on different business trainings and mentorships and seminars and masterminds, I never felt like I had a real community that felt like a family that could give me all the resources I need. That's why this was created back in 2013. Okay, so it's been around a long time, very proven. After working with 7,500 entrepreneurs, we've created the complete system you need. The Game Changers community is the absolute fastest way. I'll answer all your questions, by the way, and then we'll do some Q&A at the end. But the Game Changers is absolutely the fastest way to go from point A to point B, and we help you figure out what point A and B is while eliminating stress and overwhelm. So this is most people, right? A and B. And then a couple of years go by and they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't got the results I want. We want to make sure we use everyone else's experience and give you A to B straight to the result. Get fired up. So we focus on speed and time so you can reach your goals in the most efficient and effective way possible, okay? So here's what you're going to get. You get a deep dive training system, 100% based on experiences and results. So you have 12 different modules that you get. You have an exclusive mastermind network of over 800 plus game changers from all over the world, from all different walks of life. That's why I said you can have a network overnight, right? That we've crafted the last 5-6 years. You get live mastermind calls. You get on hot seats with other game changers. You can build partnerships, relationships. You can collab. You can share your biggest frustrations, and you have a team of people that has your back. You also get elite millionaire mentors. So you get some of the top influencers in the world to mentor you, to share their ideas, to get on live calls with you. Here are some people we've had in the past: Gary Vaynerchuk, Tim Ferriss, Ryan Blair, Grant Cardone, Ariana Huffington, Marie Forleo, Tim Sykes, Tony Horton, Brian Tracy, Ty Lopez, Eric Thomas, Robert Kiyosaki, a lot of people. We have a couple of amazing ones coming up. This is time-tested and proven by thousands of people from all walks of life. And it's been in Forbes, the physical Forbes magazine. It's been in Entrepreneur magazine, Success magazine. It's been on Inc.com, Yahoo, Time. It's been all over the place. This is not me selling you. This is just, it's very, very proven, right? So I wanted to kind of dive in, explain to you guys why we have so many testimonials and why right now we have a flawless reputation. Flawless. Here's why. We're very selective and we usually keep it very exclusive, especially our top level. Everything is focused on mastery versus overload. Now, most academies or masterminds or things that help people grow are focused on information. Ours is focused on results and outcomes, right? It's actionable, updated to what's relevant now, not what worked 20 years ago. 100% based on experience and proven results. You get live interaction from the world's obviously best achievers that have done huge things. And you get accountability to help you stay on track and increase your results. So it's great me talking about it. Some of you guys may know people. By the way, if you're already in the academy, share in the chat how you like it and the results you've gotten. I'm sure there's some people that are in it. So here's some real examples, some real value and real results from real people. This is Jared. In 2000, by the way, these are from the last couple of years as well as this year. In 2016, my business did $236,000 in revenue. So far in 2017, we just broke $250,000 in revenue and have essentially 8 months to go, counting all of May. On pace to 3x this revenue. Close a deal this morning, which will pay me $35,000 in commissions next month. The main reason I won the business is that I taught the CEO, and this is something we teach in one of the modules, how to accomplish some things that the company needs to do to accomplish their goals. And he was able to create more commission. Just closed 2 more deals that will pay me an extra $55K in commissions next month. I've hit 95% of my yearly quota in only 2.5 months after joining the academy. Forget 6 figures in 6 months. I just did it under 3 months. Time to set higher goals and 10x it. 90K in commissions in 2.5 months. I always knew that I could achieve more than I had in my past. I always knew that for the most part, society sets low expectations for us. Very true. I also knew that I could build a life that I could be proud of. After just 6 weeks in the academy, these are all people you can connect with too. After 6 weeks in the academy, I've quit my job, published my first book. I'm on track to replace my income in the next 6 weeks doing what I love. Not only that, I'm happier and healthier than I've ever been. All relationships have been improved. There's also a guy named Mark Nendick who has been on the academy for probably the last year. He was able to, or he's been in our inner circle and got access to the academy. And he had a 6-figure job, but he just hated it. And he's finally quitting because he's been replacing his income from his entrepreneur ventures because of the academy. And he's in a traditional town in Canada that doesn't usually see a lot of entrepreneurs. It's like the corporate, but he's quitting because he knows there's a better lifestyle for him. So it's pretty cool to see that. Justin Weeks, you guys may know, the Game Changers Academy has exceeded all my expectations. It's scary to think I almost didn't apply just because I was already at the top level of my company. I've got and continue to get massive results from implementing the skills and information that I've learned from Peter Voogd and the GCA. by far the best business decision I've ever made. It's pretty awesome. Justin Peters, we'll just go down to the results. From 60,000 to 102,000, all within a couple months. Pretty amazing. Here, this is one of my favorites, by the way, Krista. So within 2 weeks of becoming a member, I've made my first $40 online. Now, this is not about $40. This is about someone wanting to get away from her 9 to 5 because of reasons I can't disclose and wanting to be at home, to where she actually she was trying for a long time to make money online. She never could do it. We gave her the roadmap. She was able to make 40 bucks within the first week. And obviously a lot more since then. Javier, can't believe the value in your academy. It feels like Javier Barber, probably should be tripling them only on day 2. So here's the most common struggles that we see. I've surveyed my list. We've asked a lot of entrepreneurs the past 7 or 8 years. Here's the biggest problems that we see. Maybe you guys can relate, maybe you don't. Inconsistent and unpredictable income. In entrepreneurship, that's normal. No real guidance or proven strategy. They're just taking random action, hoping things work. Hoping's not a strategy, by the way. Lacking real confidence and certainty, and an incongruent network. You can't have level 10 success with a level 3 network. You can't want level 10 income with a level 4 network. It's impossible, right? So what the Academy does is it helps you maximize your income on your terms. You can follow a proven step-by-step roadmap to gain absolute clarity and develop an unstoppable confidence while creating your own $1 million network. And what's crazy is the program just got better. We revamped the Academy content. So last year we redid all the content and to make sure it was as relevant and tactical and comprehensive as possible, as well as some of the resources. So you get customized deep dive training. We added how to build a 6-figure dream team. We've added how to establish yourself as a celebrity, how to build a 7-figure online brand, and a couple other things. But there's more resources to where we started this with a goal of being the all-in-one resource for the entrepreneur that really wants to be a game changer and become the best at what they do. And they need all the resources they can, whether it's website design, whether it's accountant, whether it's clarity on this or a marketing campaign. We have all the resources you need. So you really, people that get in the Academy, they don't need any other information. This is an all-in-one, one-stop shop for the serious entrepreneurs, right? So how much would this be worth to you? Like, think about this. Having accountability, clarity, a network, people that have your back and giving you a roadmap in the next 5 years. Think about that. If you had predictable income, you can print out money. Now, you have to take action. But knowing you have clarity on exactly what action to take, how much would it be worth in your lifetime? Think about that. Now you guys are getting excited. Well, here's the deal. I go through all the trouble to try to figure everything out on your own like I did. It sounds funny saying it that way. Why go through the trouble of trying to figure it out on your own when you can just model exactly what I did to create millions of dollars? And once again, I don't even like really saying millions of dollars. It sounds, I don't know, it sounds cocky or tacky. But it's not about the dollars. It's about, yes, the result, but it's about the life on your terms, having leverage where you don't need people and you can do what you want. How I created millions of dollars in sales and profits while building life and business on my terms. I will take you by the hand and show you exactly what I did. Okay, and nothing I've shared with you is theory or hopes or wishes. This is exactly what I've done in my business to generate 7 figures plus and create a lifestyle on my terms, my own way. And I've now helped thousands of entrepreneurs all around the world do the same thing while obviously deepening their networks. Doesn't matter how much experience you have or what you've done in the past, okay? So what I discovered the last 10 years of training and motivating and getting to know people and why the Academy is created is because winging it will leave you stressed and burnout. And the reason we have a flawless reputation is we studied 70 plus of the top masterminds, entrepreneur programs, academies, summits, whatever, and realized that usually when I got in those, it was mindset training and that's it. Not tactics, and I was usually the most motivated in there. I had more results than everybody else. I promise you, if you get in this, you will not have the most results because we have 19 and 20-year-olds making $1 million, right? And we have some people that are brand new. So there's a mix of different types of people. So this is your question. Someone's already asked it. How much will this cost you? So first of all, you can try and figure it out on your own and spend thousands upon thousands or hire a consultant for $10,000 plus. And I personally have gotten paid, I've already gotten paid $15,000 to $20,000 for an hour speech. And I turned down $5,000 per month to teach this same content, as well as I've turned down one-on-one mentorship because it's too tough. It's not scalable. It's just too tough to do. And I put all my focus in the academy. It's not $10,000 and it's not $5,000 for this level. It's not $4,500, which is actually the current referral rate for people that get in the academy. It's not $2,000, which was going to be the price that our team and I was going to do. So for the action takers and the game changers, you know who you are. If you're really looking to level up and want to get started in one of the top programs on the planet, we're doing a webinar only special. That's way, this is crazy. That's way more affordable. So you can get started. You can enroll today for 4 investments of only $297. Okay. 4 investments. So you can get started for $297 today, which is insane. And the program's designed to make your money back within the first 30 to 45 days. Now, we are going to do some contests for action takers. I'm going to give you the website. My team's going to put it in the box. By the way, there's also a guarantee, which we'll talk about. But if you're one of those quick action takers, gamechangersmovement.com/yes. Now, if you want to save $200, you can make one payment of $997 for the year. Okay, so you get all access to everything I mentioned for a special webinar discount of $997. So gamechangersmovement.com/yes. I'm excited to welcome you in this program. And I'll tell you, there's nothing that will make a bigger difference on your network, your certainty, your confidence, your clarity than joining something that's going to take you by the hand and almost solidify the best year you've ever had. So you have 2 options. You can try and figure everything out on your own, spend thousands of dollars, and waste tons of time trying to do it yourself, or you can get the proven roadmap and cut your learning curve in half, like my mentor Jordan Weirs taught me back in 2011. You can cut your learning curve in half. You can get to your goals a lot quicker, and you can start making more money than ever predictably. That's the key. It's systemizing it where you're not just making a bunch of money and then taking a break and trying to figure out ways. You always, the average millionaire has 6 or 7 different streams of income. So we can help you with that too. By the way, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't shared. I refrain from trying to sell this. If I feel like I really have to sell you on it, it's probably not for you. But if you feel like your ambition doesn't match your bank account, if you feel like you want to be a part of a movement and a family that has your back and that can help you get to that next level, this is for you. So I'm excited to introduce you to over 800 ambitious entrepreneurs in the academy today. And check this out. I know this could be a substantial investment for some of you, and I'll tell you what. There's a 100% money back, 0 risk guarantee. I want to take away all the risk, and I want you to feel certainty, and I want to guarantee it in a way that you know it's the right choice for you today. So I'm going to put myself out on the line, and I think it's the best program in the industry, and no one's ever touched this level of comprehensive, relevant, and deep dive content and mixed it with live millionaire training. Sign up for this today. And if you don't fly out the gates and spend the next week or 2 with us and you don't believe it's the best training you've ever been a part of, and you don't feel certainty and clarity go up, I won't waste your time. And trust me, I've been through some tragic things. I've been broke and discouraged. I've been through more than I can even count programs that don't work. And if it doesn't work, you get full money back. So there's no risk. Now, you guys can see, obviously, if someone doesn't join, then we know they're not really a game changer because there's no risk. And sometimes if you're scared to spend the money, that's probably the reason you need to. And I get you. If you're skeptical, I actually get it. Trust me. There's a lot of BS out there. I get it. And I've spent money on things that are BS. That's why we backed it with a guarantee where there's zero risk for you. And I'm all over online and there's not one thing negative. So don't feel like, oh, I don't want to risk this, then I don't get my money back. That's never happened in the last 5.5, 6 years. So join over 800 entrepreneurs. I'm excited. GameChangersMovement.com/yes. And I promise you this offer will not last long. The special webinar promotion is only open until Tuesday at midnight. GameChangersMovement.com/yes. Welcome. We've already had some people. You guys are quick. Welcome to the Academy, you game changers. You're in for a treat. We actually have our next live call tomorrow. So if you get, I'm used to saying if you get accepted, because you usually have to apply, and you're getting 70, 80% off. But if you get in, you have a live call tomorrow, which is pretty cool already. And we have a millionaire guest speaker in 2 weeks. So I have some bonuses for you. If you join on the webinar, if you show me you're an action taker and a go-getter, action takers are always rewarded. You get my Becoming Unstoppable audio series, which there's success principles that we're going to teach you, but you also have to get your mind right. Because sometimes if I give you the best tactics, but your mind's not there and you don't have the mindset and the state of mind of a successful person, you'll kick yourself in the foot and go back to your bad habits. This will combat that. Bulletproof your mindset, strengthen your mental toughness, and develop an unshakable confidence. You need this for every industry. It doesn't matter if you're in construction, doesn't matter if you're starting a fitness studio, doesn't matter if you're in direct sales, doesn't matter if you're a speaker, doesn't matter if you play sports or you're an entertainer or you play poker, it doesn't matter. This helps the people that are at the tip top of their game, the top 5%, have a bulletproof mindset. Get that free. Next, all of our previous millionaire guest speakers and mastermind calls. Now, this says 15 raw and uncut interviews. You get 15 plus another 45. All different topics from the last 5.5, 6 years. And we tried to make sure we give you bonuses that complement the Academy and not just throw in random stuff. So if you have the mindset training and the Academy training, this will give you certainty and clarity on how to get to that next step. You also, for you guys wanting to build a brand online, wanting to position your business, you get How to Build a 7-Figure Online Empire, the 3-part video series. Figuring out your unique selling proposition, how to get omnipresence and really dominate your marketplace. And I teach you how we went from 5,000 views a month to over 1 million views on all of our stuff, right? How to connect with any entrepreneur, how to leverage your expertise through proven platforms, how to establish yourself as a celebrity, create raving fans. So you also get this training that's in the bonus section right when you log in, okay? So you also get a chance to upgrade to our platinum and elite levels, where we get specific live mastermind calls, live video calls with millionaires, private Facebook group, personal mentorship, and access to my Rolodex, and access to in-person events too. So you get first choice upgrade. So what's the real value? What's the real value? 52 plus guest speakers and all the past content, Becoming Unstoppable audio series. By the way, if you're new to entrepreneurship, we have a very, very secret private blueprint that helps you figure out your strengths. It's a 14-page blueprint that helps you figure out your strengths, what industry to get in, how to monetize, and how to start a business based on your strengths. That honestly should be $997, not $297. You get that free as well. Productivity Excellence Blueprint, how to build an online empire training. You get network to individuals that are ambitious. That's priceless. And you get my connections, mentorship, and experience working for you. That's over $10,000, right? So you get it for $997 one time or $297 4 times. Value is insane. I'm excited for this. Here's what to do next, okay? So go to GameChangersMovement.com/yes, enroll and pick whatever payment you do, payment option. You want to save money and do the paid in full. We challenge people to spend an amount that kind of scares them, that forces you to level up and get your skin in the game. But you don't want to spend an amount where you're like on a park bench and you have no money. You know what I mean? We want people to get their skin in the game, because if we can't make you $297 back or $997 back in the next year, there's a huge problem, right? Check your email for the login info. Right when you enroll, you'll get your email with the login info, okay? Watch the introduction module, which gets you in the perfect state of mind to maximize the next 6 months. You will love this module. And the biggest key here is don't move on until you've seen some results. We want you to get addicted to outcomes and results, not information and knowledge. Okay, outcomes and results, not information and knowledge. Someone says, yeah, what if I don't have the time? It's not about time. We're going to start getting you to think like millionaires. It's not about time. It's about outcomes and results. And if you don't have the time, you better be making 7 figures, period. Because if not, you're not spending your time wisely, right? So that leads me to the second thing to watch. Under bonus materials, watch the Millionaire Time Management System Blueprint. It comes with a blueprint. It's 45 minutes of the best time management training out. It'll help you start thinking and acting like millionaires. Okay? So this is kind of what you want to do next. But imagine, I just want you to imagine learning from people like this. People that have been in the trenches, Ed Milet, that can cut your learning curve in half. And I haven't shared this much, but here's our next. We had Randall pitch, the CEO of LiveFit, which is now doing 8 figures a year. He spoke last week. We have Elon Musk coming up in January to speak to you guys. We have Shane Johnson, Jocko Willink, Robert Kiyosaki, Ryan Holiday. We just booked, literally today, I got a text message from my assistant, David Goggins, I believe is his name. Hold on, David. I don't know a ton about him, but he looks like an absolute beast. David Goggins. He's the fitness guy, and he has millions and millions of views. He's been on Joe Rogan's show. He's crushing it. So he's actually speaking to you guys in a couple of weeks as well, or sorry, in a couple of months as well. So we have not only the best speakers, but we also have the best trainings for you as well. So here's some more examples. This is Kirk Knowles, who I've met a couple times now. He's been in our inner circle, but just want to give you a quick shout out. Started Game Changers, I believe, less than 2 months ago with a 5-month goal to raise my business residual income from less than $150 a year to $200K a year. Hit that mark today, over a $50K a year raise in less than 2 months. Reworking last 90-day goals in 2016 and finished the year at $250 residual. Next year we'll hit the 7-figure mark. Now, this is 2016. He literally said if he makes 250 grand ever again, he's going to jump off a cliff. Don't quote me on that. He said that. He's now making, and he said I can say this, over 700,000. It's 2018. Okay? And what's cool is we do Game Changer meetups, Game Changer workshop. This is me with Kirk and Justin Weeks. This is me with one of our newest Game Changers who's been on the academy like 3 months. That's Chelsea. So this is a movement. This is a family. This is the future of entrepreneurship. One of the reasons why Elon Musk agreed to actually speak to the academy is because he feels like the people in this academy are the future of entrepreneurship, the ones that are serious. You won't believe how many people talk a great game. There's so many talkers in the world. You guys probably know people that talk. They talk about leveling up and getting to the next level and making millions, but they never do 2 things. They never take any action, and they never invest in themselves. They invest in everything else except themselves. Right? It's crazy to me. We just had a meetup in an inner circle event in LA. This is pretty awesome. She says, the veterans in the group went out of their way to provide guidance and make me feel welcome. I gained so much value and clarity around my business and book this weekend blew my expectations away. I'm feeling so blessed to have this circle of influence. Thank you all. Can't wait until next time. Here's another one. This is Caleb Vincent. I don't know why his email's blocked out. This is Caleb. I know you like success stories. I'll keep it super short. At the end of April, my team was ranked at the very bottom of my division. Not almost the bottom. I'm talking dead last. By the end of June, we were ranked first in the division. Literally from the bottom to the top. Pretty awesome. From last to first in 2 months. Anna Dune. Thanks, Peter. I cannot believe I have doubled my figures already in 4 weeks. Gold, freaking gold. Double my figures. She's from Australia, so she has an accent. George Cohen. Before working with Peter, we only had 2,000 users and were struggling with customer acquisition. After one of the live calls with Peter, I took his advice and implemented a new strategy. Our results skyrocketed almost overnight. Now, I want to share here. Look at the word implemented. This is not get rich quick. I can't want success more than you want it for yourself. You actually have to implement, right? You have to take action. But if you do, you have the certainty that you're taking the most intelligent and the best possible action to get to your goals, right? And that lowers your chances of ever having regret. We went from 2,000 doctors to 45,000 signing up, and I know exactly what he did, which is crazy. We went from 2,000 doctors to 45,000 signing up for our service and brought on 200,000 new users. His no BS straight shooter approach cut directly to the point and showed me exactly what to focus on to get incredible results fast. From 2K to 200,000 users. Here's one of the meetups and events. You get to meet other game changers as well. And my question to you is, what will your story be? Like, what will your story be? And I want to ask you a question. Now, by the way, like I said, we designed this, and I understand where some people are coming from if they're a little bit nervous or scared. If you don't feel like your intelligence matches your bank account, or you're sick of being at 6 figures, you want to get to 500,000 or even 7. I know you're so sick of all the BS out there, you just want a proven roadmap. Maybe you're scared to invest because money's tight and you're not sure it'll pay off. The money's going to be spent anyways. Might as well spend it on the best possible advantage you can have in business and life. Now, if you're new to entrepreneurship, and if you never invested in yourself and you don't know what business to start, there's a whole section specifically for you on how to gain crystal clarity on what the next steps are. So just to answer if anyone's asking that question. I'm not looking at the questions right now, okay? But my thought process is I want you to think about in the next couple years, when you own houses, when you have a successful business and you're living life on your terms, and you love what you do, you're inspired, you have a couple 100,000 saved, you have properties you're investing in. I want this to be because you invested in the academy. I want you to say, you know, because of these properties, I have all this business that I'm creating. I'm the best, I'm the top business in this industry because back in the day, I invested in the academy, I bet on myself, and that's why I have this. That's kind of what I want for you. So gamechangersmovement.com/yes. Now, can you picture, I want to ask this question, and welcome everyone that's joined so far. I'm excited to get you guys going. There's all options for PayPal, and PayPal does no interest financing too. So there's literally no excuses. And we don't want everyone to join. We want the right people, okay? Can you picture and imagine in your mind people that have made a lot of money in entrepreneurship and have a lifestyle they're proud of that maybe you desire? I want you real quick to picture that person. Like right now. Now, picture people you're inspired by. Picture people crushing it. And here's the scariest thing, by the way. I'll talk about it in a second. Also, I want you to picture someone who maybe is struggling or who's tried entrepreneurship. They've tried sales. They've tried business, but they've lost money. Okay? Maybe they have resentment. Maybe they've lost everything. Maybe they've tried multiple businesses. I had a guy reach out that joined the academy, I think back in March or April. He was making $350,000 a year in corporate. And he told me the story, and it's pretty touching, but he has a daughter. And his daughter was saying something when he was leaving, like, Dad, is there any way you could skip work? I'm like, I think it was volleyball or basketball game because you missed it and blah, 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 blah. And he said at that moment, he realized that he was missing his kid's childhood, but he was making $350,000. He goes, Peter, if you can just help me make $60K a year as an entrepreneur, I'm happy. He's making 6 figures now in entrepreneurship. But the reality is, it's not about the money. Trust me. I know people that have hundreds of millions of dollars that are pissed off, stressed out, and unhappy. And I know people making $110,000 in entrepreneurship, traveling the world, doing what they love. So it's not, I don't want you to get obsessed with money. It's about what money provides, freedom and lifestyle, where you can go to the restaurant, order what you want. You can wake up when you're done being tired versus when you have to. You can do what you want on your terms. That's what it's about. So can you picture people who have been successful? Can you picture people struggling or that lost everything or hate entrepreneurship? Let me ask you a question. Why is there a disparity? And you can tell I'm passionate about this. I've been obsessed with this for 10 years. Why is there a disparity? Why are there some people making millions and even 6 figures, which is a lot of money, and some people failing and losing everything? Is it lack of opportunity or lack of knowledge and network? Answer that. Why is there such a disparity? Why are some making millions and some stressed out and broke? Is it lack of opportunity or lack of knowledge and network? Exactly. It's lack of knowledge and network. And you're more right than you know. by the way. Most people aren't thriving. Most people want, but they never invest in themselves and take action. If you don't invest in yourself, nobody else will, and you shouldn't expect success. But what would you tell someone who is struggling, who maybe doesn't invest in themselves and doesn't take advantage of networking, right? You would tell them you shouldn't expect success, right? I know a lot of you invest in yourself because you're here on this webinar, but there are people out there that could have gotten on this webinar that chose not to last minute. They're going to go out there and try and figure this thing out on their own and waste a lot of time, money, and energy. And if I can do it, so can you. Trust me. I'm from a super small town in Oregon, 7,000 or 8,000 people. And I did not know how to be successful, but I knew I wanted it. And once I got the roadmap, it was over. And why I do this now is because it's one thing succeeding yourself. It's a whole different level. I mean, 10 levels up, helping someone else succeed and having them tell you changed their life. That's a whole different level of fulfillment. So I'm going to be selfish here a little bit. I want you guys to change your life and say it was because of me in the academy, to be honest, right? That's the reality. But for those of you guys thinking it might not work for me, we've created a getting to know yourself document that's worth the price of admission. And we have hundreds of members that have told us they didn't think it was going to be working for them until they actually experienced it, right? So keep that in mind. So that's my question. What is your story going to be the next 30 days? So you get the Game Changer system, the $1 Million Network, live mastermind calls, and elite millionaire mentors. GameChangersMovement.com/yes. And the results are 100% guaranteed. So there's zero risk. Now, one last thing. Action takers are always rewarded. This, I haven't checked, but this might already be finished. But for the first 10 who take action, okay, you get a special Game Changers package. And this might be over, and I think it is. Maybe we can extend it, or maybe do like 10 more. You get a welcome package with both my mixtapes, all my mixtapes, the physical mixtapes. You get both my books, 6 Months to Six Figures, and the Massive Blueprint, the Entrepreneur's Blueprint to Massive Success. You get a customized flash drive with our 15 best documents. You get a Game Changers customized journal, as well as an ambitious priceless wristband included. These get shipped out on Friday. So they'll be shipped out tomorrow. So anyone that joins, the first 10 will get this welcome package. So join the most exclusive networking community today. I'm excited to have you guys on GameChangersMovement.com/yes. What I've realized is the number one thing, and then we'll do some Q&A. The number one thing that holds most people back from really getting to that next level, from really reaching another height of results and peace of mind and happiness and certainty and clarity. And this is based off studying countless entrepreneurs, talking to people at different seminars, different conferences in different countries. The number one thing that holds most people back is they never tell themselves now matters. They're always living on someday I'll be successful. Someday I'll invest in myself. Someday I'll become a pro. Someday I'll maximize my income. Someday I'll build a business on my terms. Not right now. Then they have every validation in the book of why not to take action now. And what happens is someday never comes. I've spent a lot of time with older people the last couple of years, just talking to them. And every single one says the same thing. They start with, I wish. If I ask them about their past or if they have any regrets, I wish I would. I wish. You don't want that. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect or the stars to align, good luck in this new economy, right? So tell yourself now matters. Most people spend the first half of their life saying they're too young and the second half saying they're too old. Don't be like, that's my challenge to you. Don't be like most people. I want you to lead the majority, not be the majority. And as you start making these better decisions, your confidence grows, the vision grows, the bank account grows. And obviously it's harder to relate to people, but when you have those big goals, you can't expect people to follow you because you're representing the courage and strength and vision they don't yet have. So you'll never find any real game changers hanging around people who settle or feeling bad if they don't talk to friends from high school. Now matters. It's time to level up. GameChangersMovement.com/yes. And I'm super excited. I've crafted this program the last 10 years because of all the masterminds and programs that didn't get me real results. And we've been fortunate to have thousands of conversations from people that have applied the last couple of years. And a lot of them have already joined other courses. And the common theme is there's too much mindset training and not enough tactics, and they don't get a proven roadmap. That's why we've created this for you guys. So I'm excited. So this is what we're going to do for you. Well, this is what my team's going to do for you because they're the nicer ones. Your bank account, if this is for you, if your bank account doesn't match your ambition, you're not fulfilling your potential, you need clarity and a proven framework to follow, you want a more predictable and consistent income, and you want more flexibility and freedom. So it is 30 past the hour. What we're going to do is I'm going to do some Q&A, and we're going to extend a welcome package. So anyone who joins on the webinar, okay, that shows us they're serious through action. By the way, once again, there's no risk. Anyone that shows us they're serious, you get the Game Changers training system, the $1 Million Network, live mastermind calls, elite private millionaire mentors, and you get the Game Changers package. Sound good? That's everything you get. And I'm super excited because there's nothing that is more important than investing back in yourself. And the best way to predict someone's next 6 months of success is to look at their previous 6 months. Unless you change who you're around and what you put in your mind. And it blows my mind when you think about what people spend on like stuff that doesn't matter to maybe make up for insecurities, material things. They spend $40,000 to $100,000 on college, but they won't spend money on personal growth, on things that can almost solidify them an amazing life and business. This is 98% cheaper and 100% more relevant and effective. Now, I want to share with you guys too, we made it affordable, but don't devalue the price because it is so cheap. We're taught to save, save, save growing up, but it should be taught to invest, invest, invest. All right. So let's do some Q&A. Let me pull up the questions. And if my team, if you guys can send me some of the good questions, that'd be awesome. So I'm excited, guys. Thanks for checking out the training. I got some time for some questions. And by the way, the 10 have already been taken pretty quickly. So those are all gone. But if you still want to join, if you want to level up and get to the next level of success and fulfillment and be mentored by me and get around these multimillionaires and really give yourself the competitive advantage, whatever industry you're in, you want to have a competitive advantage. Okay, that's the key. You want to have a competitive advantage. And that's what this does. All right, so let me get the Q&A. And by the way, guys, and just being very blunt, someone said, I'm trying to figure out if this is right for me. If you're trying to figure out if it's right, I don't mean to push you away, but it might not be for you. Like you know deep down inside if this is going to help you or not, and this is what you need. Now, base it off intelligence, not fear, right? Base it off intelligence. And what's cool about the guarantee and the system is we threw that guarantee in there, and we have such a great guarantee so we can kind of take out all the fear and frustration. If you're like, I'm not sure if it's for me, you don't have to make a decision right now. Put down the deposit and then try it out and invest and see if it makes sense for you. But it's so cheap that you have nothing to lose. And if money's the issue, that's probably the #1 reason you should join, so you never have money issues ever again. Once again, I want you guys to understand, this is the greatest time in human history. There's so much money being made. I don't want you to miss out. You're going to get the oh, by the way, there's also an Instagram engagement group that you get a chance to get in if you're in the academy that will help you build up your social media, your Instagram. People are getting like 30, 40, 50 comments per post just from the Instagram engagement group. So there's a lot of cool things, private Facebook groups, some other stuff. So if someone's like, what if it doesn't work? Well, get your money back and at least have the satisfaction knowing that you tried versus what if, right? Time's going to go by anyways. You might as well maximize the time and know for a fact you spent it wisely and give yourself the best advantage to thrive in this new economy. And let me give one last tip. Let me look at these questions. Sorry. Get fired up. Oh, I need to refresh it. Hold on 1 second, guys. But if someone's like, I don't know if I can do it, I don't believe I can do it, you never believe until you get a result. Another myth that I was told is you have to believe in yourself at all times. No, how can you believe in yourself if you haven't gotten a result in something? I did a video a while back. I wanted a Tesla for like 5 years, since 2012. And I never was going to get one. I never even thought I was going to get one. I wanted one. I wrote it on my goals list, but I never actually thought I was going to get one. I never believed it. I still think it's crazy because I don't usually spend. I'm not really a heavy spender. Doesn't matter how much I make. I'd rather invest than spend money. And my wife kind of told me that I work hard, I should get it. But the point is, I never believed I was really going to get it, but I kept writing it down and I kept in my subconscious. Same thing with flying first class, same thing with flying private, same thing with getting to that 7-figure mark. Here's what you have to understand. You don't actually have to believe you're going to accomplish it. Just believe in the process, and eventually when the results come, you can now believe. I just hate when people say you have to believe. How the heck can someone believe in something if they've never done it? That's really hard to do, right? If you could do that, more power to you. But the reality is, I hate all the BS that's out there, right? Believe in yourself. Really? That's great. That's why I do what I do, is there's so much fluff and BS. I want to give people the real roadmap and the real tactics and the right network to help them get to the next level. And I'm telling you right now, you don't have to believe. So if you don't believe, fine. Once you get results, you'll start believing. Confidence comes through action and through results, right? And it's I try to keep it simple for you guys. Because digging through all the free stuff online, usually free stuff is exactly what it's worth. I try to give better free content than most people pay thousands for. And obviously anything we charge a penny above for, we try to make sure it's 100 times the value. But we want to simplify it to where you don't need other personal growth. When you get in the academy, you're not going to need to read a bunch of books and join other groups and watch all these videos. You're going to know with certainty that you have everything you need to get to the level you want to get to. That's the cool part about it. Easton, I get paid in 2 days. Have your Rise and Grind song set. I spent alarm. That's dope. I'm serious about getting this and making a difference. How far apart are the payments? The payments are every 30 days. But once again, let me be upfront here. Money's not the issue for us. Okay, if it was, we would do a lot of these. This is the only webinar. This is the first webinar. We've never done a webinar in the last couple of years. Charging for the academy. Usually it's application based and you have to apply. So we can make a lot more if we just focused on money. It's finding the right people, because we want to find the next Mark Zuckerberg. We want to find the next game changer, right? So the money's not the issue. So if you have to do payments, don't worry about it, right? You'll save money doing the paid in full, but Easton, they're every 30 days. So if you make a payment in 2 days, if you make a payment on October 20th, it'll then be November 20th when the next 297 comes out. And then it'll be December 20th when the next one comes out. If you email our support team, support@gamechangersmovement.com, they can extend the payment sometimes too. So they're pretty flexible. Good question. The offer lasts till the 23rd. I don't know. Can you answer that, team? Actually, I thought it lasted until Sunday night. I wanted to do Sunday night. To be honest, I don't like procrastinators. So it's already set to Tuesday, but don't join Tuesday unless somehow you get paid. Another thing is you have to figure out why you are where you are. Some of you guys should already be making 6 figures. Okay? Why are you not? Like, you have to figure out the deep reason. Also, if you haven't joined by now, a part of me wants to say it's probably not for you, and maybe you shouldn't join, and maybe you should continue just looking at free stuff or keep doing what you're doing. But here's the reality. At least figure out why you're scared or nervous or you haven't invested in yourself before. Figure out why. Have you been ripped off before? Do you have a scarcity mindset where money's tight and you hold on to everything and you don't invest? I don't know, but the biggest thing about life is figuring out exactly why you are where you are. There's always an answer for everything. There's always an answer for everything, right? So that's the key, is just figuring that out, right? This is like the most insane offer like ever. Remember, you have this for a whole year, as well as connecting with me and all the academy members, as well as all the calls and the trainings. It's insane. Good. Hold on. My thing's messing up. Okay. I've joined. Smart move. But would still appreciate hearing from you about how the program works. Is it self-guided? Do the modules consist of printed material, video, more details? Love it. So tell me your name so I can say your name. It says R. Lippman. I can't guess your name. I don't know. So it's a very strategic and systemized program. It wasn't put together last week. This has been going on for 6 years. We have an advisory board. We make sure the content is as relevant as possible. It's intentional and systemized. Rebecca, thank you. So when you log in, you will watch the introduction module, which will help you figure out exactly what your goals are for the next 6 months. It'll kind of clear your mind. It'll help you get rid of any unfinished business, anything that's been festering on your mind, like a toxic relationship, a business that's not finished, or any task. It helps you get rid of that so you have a clear mind. Okay, once you watch the weekly master plan, it'll help you make sure you're maximizing your time, so it creates a little more time for you. Once you get in module 1, which is available in 7 days, you'll have clarity on exactly what modules to watch, what actions to take, and then you have the modules released every 7 to 21 days, and they're very strategic on what you need to learn to build a bigger business and to build a life on your terms. Then, so they are self-guided as far as they come out every 7 to 21 days, but we have live mastermind calls every month with the team and with me. I'm on every call. That's where you get all your questions answered. Anything you need help-wise as far as the module or anything with your business. And then we have a millionaire guest speaker every month, so you can get advice from them too. And it's not about the time you put in, it's about the outcomes and results. So when you log into the academy, I don't want you to watch everything. Amateurs are addicted to information. Pros are addicted to results and outcomes. So the goal is, don't move on until you've seen some results in your business and your life. Does that make sense? And as you get in the program, you're going to see the next module coming, and you'll start gaining clarity through the blueprints and the modules. Yeah, we've had the last 6 years to perfect this, right? So you'll have clarity as you start watching the modules, and you'll have access to our private Facebook group as well, to where you can ask questions to all the other members. So the biggest key is you're going to always have a support system that has your back, that can give you clarity on what's next. Like I said, you don't need to know the answer. We have it. And then if you need help with marketing, if you need help with branding, if you need help with positioning, if you need help with how to network and reach out to people, all the scripts and everything are in there. You just type in like what you need help with, and then you go to that training. But the biggest thing is, we don't want you to watch 10 trainings in the first week. We want you to master 1 or 2 before you move on. Make sense? Gabrielle, I have your, it's Gabriel or Gabrielle? I have your Audible and listen to your mixtapes daily. I appreciate it. Thank you. That means a lot. That's why you know what's really funny about the mixtapes, just on a side note? One of the keys to success is to work in the beginning, work 80% of your time on profit-producing things to make sure you have money coming in, make sure you don't worry about money, because you're more creative, you're more resourceful, you have more leverage. And then 20% should always be on legacy things, like things that don't pay you now, creating content that changes the game or impacts people later. So music, artwork, a book, a program, creating things, right? Content. Once you get to a certain level that income is systemized, you flip that and you're working 80% on what you love and whatever the heck you want, and the 20% is systemized. So my mixtapes actually I don't know how artists make money, by the way. We've had almost 1 million streams of the mixtape, and I'm not making much money on that, but I don't care about the money. I do real estate, I do a lot of other stuff to where money comes in, I don't have to worry about money. And I've done that to protect my future, to protect my future, I don't have kids yet, our future kids. But when you say mixtape, it's funny because I love doing that, but I don't get paid. It's like the least amount of money I make out of everything, but it's my most exciting thing. And I couldn't do that if I didn't have leverage. That's why it's important to make money first to fund. Business is business. Make money first to fund what you love doing. People are obsessed with like, follow your passion. It's like, nah, the key is treating business like business, maximizing it, making money, following trends, and making sure you understand that money is a reflection of value in the right marketplace, but use that money to leverage what you love, right? So thanks for listening to your mixtapes. Rebecca, yes, the modules are available all year. Yep. And the modules are valuable. They're going to blow your mind, But the networking, the live calls, the millionaire speakers, the workshops, all that kind of stuff is just another value add too. Isaiah, there's a lot of good marketing stuff. Like Brian Cristiano, who's one of the top marketers in New York. By the way, if you're a real estate agent, we've had some amazing real estate investing stuff too, from Cole Hatter and from Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing, and Thatch Win, some other stuff. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, guys, I promised myself I wouldn't talk about everything in the academy because I don't want to have to sell you. I want to talk about the simple stuff, and the right people will catch on, right? Right now, I just started a new job, and we'll figure out how to afford to join sooner than later. Cool. Whatever you got to do. If you want it bad enough, we'll find a way. All right. Any other questions, guys? I'm going to hang for the next like 5 or 10 minutes, and I appreciate you guys spending time with me. James, hey, Peter, I just joined through PayPal, but for some reason I didn't get a confirmation email or go through the website. I think through PayPal, our team will manually add you afterwards. How do I reach out to the mentors I want to work with? Good question. First of all, the worst thing you can ever do when you're networking, okay? The number one thing successful people value, is their time more than anything else on the planet. And the funny thing is, the number one thing people ask them for is their time, which is the dumbest thing you could ever do when you're reaching out to someone successful. So take a different approach. Instead, take an action so they know you're an action taker, because they get hundreds of emails and most people just talk. You guys know this. Think about this logically. Think about how many people registered for this training. A lot. Think about how many showed up. Less. Think about how many stayed till the end. Even less. Think about how many people invested in themselves. Even less. That's just how life is. There's always 5 or 10% of people that set their goals and everyone else works for those people, right? So that's just how life is. But when you're reaching out, take action first, and then let them know. Don't ask them for anything. Give value. And then reach out later once you've given value and follow up with them, then asking if there's anything you can do for them. So here's an example. Someone reaches out to me. Hey, Peter, I love what you do. Thanks for everything you've provided. Can I get 5 minutes of your time? Can I take you out to eat? That's the most common one. Can I steal 5, 10 minutes of your time? And I say no 100% of the time. I used to say yes, but now I realize that when I say yes to something, I'm saying no to something else, and I have my priorities straight now, right? So what if someone's like, hey, Peter, I've already reviewed your book. Hold on, that's an action. I'm like, wow, this person's somewhat of an action taker. He's already done something. Great. I've already reviewed your book, and I love what your book's about. I bought 5 copies for the most influential people I know. I know my network's not as big as yours, but do you have anything coming up that I could help you promote? I'd love to promote your stuff. Thank you. Done. I'm like, oh, this person's awesome. He didn't ask me for anything. He just gave value. Reaches out again. Hey, I just shared your stuff with my team. Thanks again for what you do. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you. And then eventually, when you feel like you've given, then you ask, I'd love to figure out a way that I can continue helping you. And I'd love 5 or 10 minutes of your time. You have a way better chance of getting a hold of them or having them listen to you if you've given value first, right? So I have an exact approach on how to reach out to people in the academy as well. But that's the key, is reaching out, giving value. And if you don't have value to give, figure out how you can connect them with somebody else. I've connected with a lot of young entrepreneurs because they've connected me with game changers. Like someone connected with Ed Milet, someone connected me with Grant Cardone, someone connected me with all these people. They just made an introduction. So 2 things you can do that are secret, like ninja. You can connect them with another influencer, right? And say, you guys are making a great connection. You don't have to have influence to connect 2 people. I thought we'd connect. You have 100 million, or you have 2 million subscribers. He has an amazing message. I'd love for you guys to connect. Let me know if I can make the introduction. Someone connects me to a game changer, I'm happy. That's a lot of value, right? Or you can interview pretty much anyone you want if you understand how to maximize Facebook ads. You can guarantee anybody 100 to 500,000 views on Facebook. You just got to pay for the views, and they're not much. So you can say, hey, anyone you want to interview, whether it's Mark Cuban or Grant Cardone or anybody, right? Say, hey, I'd love to guarantee you 500,000 views on Facebook. Who would I talk to that's in charge of Grant's schedule, right? There's just so many different ways. You just got to get creative and resourceful, or you just talk to people who've already done it and cut your learning curve in half, which is what the Academy does. I'm not following. Ethan, you say, I'm just wondering if it's better in my situation to get in now or just wait and get in. I mean, waiting is never good because the one thing you don't get back is time. So I don't know what waiting is never good for anything. Always, because you're going to get at least one or two things that'll help you be more effective. Right when you log in and get to the Academy and you watch the time management, you're going to instantly save hundreds of thousands of hours the next year or two because you already know how to maximize your time and be more efficient. So game changers don't wait. We want people that are urgent, that are hungry for success now, not next month, right? James, broad question, but what percentage of time do you spend learning compared to executing? Really good question. So I know people that just execute and they don't learn or they don't plan or they don't think things through. They're stressed and frustrated. I know people that just think and learn all day and don't execute. They're frustrated. You got to have both. Usually it's 70-30, okay? Studying, mastering things, 70% executing. But you have to pick and choose. Because if you're executing when you should be thinking and you're thinking when you should be executing, that's a bad combination. So I usually think and plan and strategize 1 or 2 days a week, like some couple hours, like Sundays. I think things through thoroughly, and then I'm executing. So here's the cool thing. It's a little hack. When you're planning, you want to only plan when you're in a peak state of mind. So whatever you have to do to get yourself in a peak state of mind, get yourself in the most intelligent state of mind. Think things through and plan your week, what you're going to execute, your profit-producing activities, who you're going to connect with, when you're taking action, when you're going to do the hardest things first. And here's the cool thing. Sell yourself on all those things. Now, when the week comes and you're supposed to be executing, very rarely do people always feel like doing what they said they're going to do. But you have to remember, so when a Tuesday comes along, and you told yourself you were going to make these 50 calls, but now you don't feel like it. Champions base things on what they said, not what their mood is, right? If you only do things you feel like, you're not going to do very much. So then you remember and you say, hey, wait, when I was in an intelligent state of mind, I said I was going to do this. I'm being a coward right now. I'm in a bad mood. It doesn't matter. When I was at my best self, I said I was going to do this. So I have to do this. So you want to get addicted to how things feel at the end, not in the beginning of maybe not feeling like doing it. Here's what Ariana Huffington taught me. She's the founder of Huffington Post. She's worth 50 million. She's one of Forbes' most powerful females. She said, Peter, when I was struggling, I was trying to build a business by myself. I was always making decisions when I was in a bad mood or I was tired or hungry or frustrated. She goes, the biggest breakthrough I ever had was I stopped, this is crazy, was I stopped making decisions when I wasn't in a peak state of mind. So you realize that if you make a decision when you're tired, you are a coward. You're making coward decisions. Not that you're a coward, but why would you make decisions when you're tired? That's not the best state of mind. Only make decisions when you're in a peak state of mind. So she said, once I took advantage of that, my business blew up because I was making decisions when I was hungry, tired, frustrated, lonely, pissed off. Just let that pass. Tell yourself when you're frustrated, I will be in a better state of mind eventually. Don't beat yourself up. This is how you deal with, I've had anxiety in the past. When I just tell myself I'm going to get through this, it's just a feeling that will pass. Don't make any decisions. Don't be too tough on myself. Just let it go. This too shall pass. Those are powerful words in business. This too shall pass. And you make those decisions when you're in a good state of mind. That's how you build a business on your terms and get consistent results. So to answer your question, it's usually 70-30, 80-20. Too much time learning without action will cause you to be overwhelmed and you'll be a broke genius. Too much action, you'll have a big business or you'll have a lot of results, but you won't have a good lifestyle or you won't be able to enjoy it or you won't have any leverage and you'll overwork yourself, right? So you got to have both. Good question. Another thing someone asked about investing. So there's something, I have a new book that's going to come out probably beginning of next year. I haven't really said much about it, but one of the things I'm going to talk about is the 4 things all successful people on the planet invest money in. Right now, and it's the opposite of what we're taught in school and growing up, which is so funny to me. It's like everything we be taught is just backwards. We're taught to save, save, save. That's a fear-based tactic. Why would you save? It's investing so you can make more money, right? The key is to have residual so you can make money while you sleep and have predictable income. But here's the deal. There's 4 things people spend money on. And if you spend money on these things, you cannot help but be successful and build a thriving business. So first thing is investing in yourself, obviously. Cut your learning curve in half, make better decisions, have a network of people. Second thing is back in the business. Marketing, advertising, branding, personnel, customer service, sales, sales director, admin, whatever. So investing in yourself, back in your business. Got it? Now, if you skip any of these, it doesn't work. So invest in yourself, invest in business. And this is, I get very detailed and do a lot of case studies. Third thing is assets that make your money work for you, whether it's angel investing, whether it's investing in startups, whether investing in other entrepreneur ventures, real estate, multifamily, duplexes, whatever. I invest quite a bit in rental properties, right? We just bought a 4-plex in the Midwest. It's great deals because of my connection with Cole Hatter, who's good friends with Dan Merrill, who's big in real estate, right? So connections, you're always one connection away from a game-changing event in your life. So third thing is assets that make money work for you. You got to figure out how to make money, and you invest that money back in yourself, back in your business. Then once you start making money, obviously you can't invest money you don't make. Once you start making money, you invest it in things that make money work for you, okay? And the 4th thing is memorable experiences, maximizing memorable experiences, because there's no better motivation. Imagine right now taking your 5 best friends or your family or your kids on an all expense, all exclusive vacation to Hawaii or Fiji. Okay? Everything's paid for. And imagine getting there, and when you get back, you love what you do, so you're not even like frustrated at the last day. You're like, I gotta go back to work. You love what you do. That fires you up even more to make more money and create more freedom. But here's the problem. Too many people spend all the money they make not on themselves, not on their business. They don't invest it back in themselves. They skip to number 4. They don't invest in properties or anything that makes them money. They go to number 4. I'm gonna maximize another experience. And they escape reality and go broke again. That's a vicious cycle that you don't want to do. Don't skip the first 3 steps. You hear a lot of people like, I'm just living free, like no regrets, like you only live once. Those people are almost always dead broke, and they eventually have massive regret. Don't be one of those people because it sounds cool. Be intelligent and strategic. That's why we created this, right? And I'm not saying, no more like telling you to join. It might not be for you. But now I just want to really teach you things that have taken me years to figure out. Because I did invest a lot of money on things that I escape reality, like nice things, and I realized I was just making up for insecurity. Now I want to invest in things that protect my family for the next 50 years, right? So good question, whoever asked that. I go off on tangents sometimes. But once again, I'm excited, guys, for you guys that joined. Welcome to the Academy. Welcome to the family. You do have your first live call tomorrow at 3, and everything's recorded and placed in the mastermind recording section. So you can watch it on your terms, right? James, no problem. My pleasure. At least I'm going on a mission in a few months, and I'll be gone for 2 years. Yeah, we could probably hold I would join now because you're getting an insane discount, and then we can kind of hold the membership. So we're pretty flexible if we have the right people. Let me know if you have any other questions, guys. Your last chance, you have like a minute or two. You're probably going to eventually join. You might as well do it now since there's no risk. And you're going to get the welcome package sent to you tomorrow, which is cool. So if you want that welcome package, both my books signed, you want my mixtapes and everything. And to be quite honest, we're going to look at who joins first. I like knowing who the real deal people are. If you join right away, whoever the first person to join is, I'm going to call you tomorrow. I love action takers, man. The world needs more of them. There's too many talkers out there. Once again, guys, thanks for your time. I appreciate you. Here's what I want you to do. Write down your ideal income goal in the next 6 months. Like if everything went right, just write this down. Like literally write it down right in front of you. I did this. This was an activity someone did with me like 2009, and I'll never forget it. Okay, write down like ideal. If everything went right, don't be like crazy, like 50 million unless you have an avenue, but a goal that you'd be super happy to hit, and it would change your life. Like you know that you could accomplish this if you got focused, if you bet on yourself. And on that side note, write that number down. I want you guys from here on out to make up for all the times in your life where you didn't give your all. Make up for all the times in your life where you make excuses. This is the time where you make up for all that. I want to make sure that you know 100% you're going to have the best year you've ever had. This is kind of, in a way, it's almost guaranteeing and solidifying. It's taking the pressure off you and putting it on us to say you're going to have the best year you've ever had. Look at your income goal for the next months. Okay, look at that number. Look at that number. Now I want you to double that number. That is called human potential. But you can't dabble. You can't dabble. Okay? Dabblers are left behind. You got to go all in. I don't mean all in time-wise. I mean you got to go all in mentally and realize that you're no different than the person next to you. One just took more action and invested in himself and changed what was in their mind, and one kept making excuses. It's now or never, guys. I'm excited, and I'm focused, I'm passionate, I can keep going, but I'm gonna let you guys go. But the reality is that's human potential. Don't tell me a 16-year-old can make $1 million a year and you're making 42K a year. And don't tell me that you don't have the potential to make more. Okay? I see so many people crushing it and so many people struggling, and I see the reasons why. It's usually fear, and it's usually circle of influence. So this is the time to level up. So I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of your night. I'm pretty active on Instagram, so if you follow me on Instagram, I'll if you want to connect, let me know and say you're from the training at Peter J. Voogd. I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of your night. Let me know if you have any other questions. Let me check one more time for the questions. I'm like 10 minutes late, but I like talking to you guys. There's nothing I like more than being around ambitious people that execute what I teach. Guest 9671 just joined. Very smart move. Tell me your name so I know. Looking forward to connecting. Easton as well, by the way. Sound like a sharp guy. Easton, we can 100% hold it. You can't be logging in every day when you're gone, but we can definitely hold it. And by the time you get back, it's probably gonna be 15 or 20,000 to join. So you definitely want to hold your spot. Isaiah, I'm excited. By the way, you guys that have joined, here's what you do, okay? Watch the introduction module, rewatch it, and don't move on till you've seen some results, okay? Then go to the bonus section on top, go down to videos, go to weekly master plan, and watch that. That is a totally different level of content you've probably never experienced. That'll get you fired up. And then you're gonna have your first live call tomorrow, which is great. And you'll get a link in your email tomorrow where that is on how to access that. I can't give it to everybody, obviously. And then your first official module will be released in 7 days. We don't want you to watch anything else because we want you to be addicted to outcomes and results, not information and knowledge, remember. So it's all about mastery. And then the millionaire guest speakers coming up in a couple weeks, and then you'll kind of be indoctrinated into the system, and you'll be good to go. We have some awesome stuff coming up for the end of the year to help you create a game plan and maximize the momentum at the end of the year. And then we're going to do some stuff at the beginning of the year that sets you up for an amazing 2008 or 19. Dang, already 19. That's crazy. So you'll be taken care of, trust me. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the family. If you didn't join, no problem. I'm glad you enjoyed my content. I appreciate every one of you guys. Have an amazing rest of your night. And thanks again. And see you guys later.